Have you ever met or talked to someone just one time and you couldn't get them out of your head? Or have you met someone initially and you had very little to zero romantic interest in them, only to have a second interaction with them, then strangely fall madly in love? Well, what if the love that you felt wasn't really love at all? It's all happening. It's all happening. It's all happening. What's going on, everyone? My name is Carlos Santiago. Welcome to another video topic you're highly unlikely to hear anywhere else. But let me begin with a short story. Alright, so in my late 20s, when I was in between breakups from my on-again, off-again girlfriend of a few years, I met this older Puerto Rican girl from Florida. She was a good 5 years older than me or so. I normally don't date older women, but she had some great qualities about her. Her family came from Puerto Rico, but she later moved to Florida when she got older. And if you don't know, Puerto Rico is a hub of all kinds of witchcraft, sorcery, Santeria, and voodoo. So during the short time I saw this Puerto Rican girl, she put me on game. She explained to me how easy it is to have one person make another person fall in love with them, or at least take strong interest in them. She began by telling me, first you take their photo, and then you take some sugar, and then, no, of course I'm not going there. Let's leave it alone. She explained to me there is a few ways to create a love potion. I asked her, does it really work? She said, yes, it does. I asked her, well, does it always work? She said, no, not all the time. I wasn't as spiritually savvy or in tune as I am now, so I really didn't know what to ask. But the gist of it is, men do these witchcraft spells on women, and the women do it to the men. But it doesn't always work. But she didn't have a clear answer as to why. My guess is it depends how spiritually and emotionally vulnerable the target or the person is. Everyone's spiritual guard and shield fluctuates. So it fluctuates depending on what's going on in your life, how much stress you're undergoing. If a random catastrophic event just shakes up your life, your emotional body will cause your spiritual body to become vulnerable to any type of attack. Sickness, depression, manipulation, or witchcraft. My Puerto Rican girl also gave me more specifics, like the spell does not last forever. It can lose strength. The person often needs some sort of continual contact with the person, like they have to see them or talk to them on a regular basis to keep the spell active. But if the person the spell casting goes too long without having some sort of interaction with their target, then the target can come to their senses and the spell is broken. When I heard this, it reminded me of this movie that I love called Love Potion No. 9 with Sandra Bullock. If you love 90s romance movies, then definitely check this out. Plus, there might be a little truth in that. And I'm not pointing the finger that it's only Puerto Ricans that do this, because it's definitely not. There are many other Latin and Black cultures that mess with these spells heavy as well. So knowing what you know now, how love can be manipulated, can you think of a time or situation that personally happened to you? Maybe it was a creepy guy or not so nice girl that you had zero interest in, that later became the only thing that you thought about. Did you and your friends ever think about how much that relationship that you were in made zero sense? And why you had to be in contact with that person like every 12 hours or less? Just something to think about. So a way to test this is to stop seeing or talking to that person that you're involved with. Go a few days, then a few weeks if you can. If your feelings aren't near as strong, then go a month without seeing them. If you were truly in love, 1 month won't change any way that you feel. If it was just infatuation or something else, then your feelings would have dropped significantly. So how can you protect yourself from these witchcraft attacks or spells? Honestly, your relationship with God is paramount. Your prayer life, as well as your friends or family praying for you. This all makes a difference. You may not think that praying for friends or family makes a difference, but I hear and I see things on the prophetic side, and I can tell you 1000% that it makes a difference if you pray for someone. You may not see it right away, and maybe it's not the way that you expect, but it counts. But even if, like I said before, there are points in our lives where we're just more vulnerable to any and everything, then there are some people who capitalize and take advantage of those situations. Which brings me to my next talking point of witchcraft, dealing with a narcissist. Here are a few signs that you're dealing with a narcissist. They hurt you, but never apologize or own up to their mistakes. They are experts at shifting the blame. They may accuse you of behaving like they are, or traits they themselves exhibit. They may call you a liar, a cheater, a deceiver. This is a manipulation tactic. They know which personality type that this works on. They learn enough about your insecurities and weaknesses to use them against you. They can't admit that they are wrong, and you aren't allowed to make mistakes. Even if it's their fault, they will somehow find a way to make it seem like it was yours. Hey, if you didn't do this, then I wouldn't have done that. You may even find yourself lying for them, apologizing for their mistakes to other people because they refuse to take responsibility on their own. And if you don't do this for them, then they'll find a way to punish you and put your ego in the dirt. And you already know it's not even worth it, so you just do as they ask. And if they don't get their way, then they will belittle you and threaten to leave you. They may also design their life to make this more advantageous. Like they may convince you to have kids with them, even though you know your relationship isn't that great, and you don't really want to do this, but they do so that you're bound even further. They may convince you not to work, so you don't have the ability just to get up and leave if things get bad. So they build this dependency on them. Then you psychologically believe that you can't live without them. You may mistake that for love. Most people think of the common narcissist type like someone in the entertainment industry, lawyers, police officers, but really it can be anyone, male or female. The reality is, even if a person escapes this toxic relationship, their self-esteem may still cause them to wind up in the same relationship patterns over and over again until they allow themselves time to heal from that emotional abuse and trauma and set up healthy boundaries to only tolerate what is acceptable for them. If not, then the cycle will likely never break because narcissists prey on the weak personality type. If they feel up to investing enough effort, they will take someone who is very confident, then break them down with enough insults to have the upper hand eventually. And now that one strong person is now submitting under the rule of the narcissist, and now they don't want to leave, or they have a hard time leaving because now they're trauma bonded and they feel too guilty to leave. And guilt is the most common and potent form of love potions I have seen. Okay, so there are love potions, love spells, narcissist manipulation, tricking you into being in love, and then there's the real thing. How do you know it's real love? Well, love is patience. Love is forgiveness when you don't deserve it. Love is being able to stay silent when you want to act out. Love is encouragement when they don't feel enough. Love is comfort knowing that someone is there with you. Someone that has your best interest in mind. Love is being the bigger person and apologizing. Love is admitting that you're wrong. Love is admitting that you need help. Love is not asking for anything in return. Love is staying up when you just want to sleep. Love is defending your loved one when they aren't around. Love is never giving up. Love is going hungry so they can eat. Love is sleeping next to your loved one in the hospital in an uncomfortable guest chair for days or weeks on end. Love is making sure that they don't feel alone. Love is kindness. Love is feeling incomplete when that person isn't next to you. Love is feeling sad when they're now gone. And that's the real love potion. That's the real love potion.